Welcome to Roll for Crit. Here is a Kickstarter preview for Dungeon Doors that simulates a role-playing experience, but on a smaller, faster scale and using only cards. In this game, there are going to be 2 roles. One player will be the door master, while everyone else is going to be working together as the heroes.
Yes, all the other players, who I will now simulate, are going to get a random hero in the beginning. Now, the hero will have some cute little artwork, some regular stats, but they'll also have a hero trait, which could either A, like you see this character has just another ability, or it could say something that involves giving them a starting item. In addition to that, they have a hero ability. This is something that you can activate up to 3 times per game, so use them wisely, or not. Who am I to tell you what to do? And of course, they have proficiencies, which means certain items, if you're proficient in the item, when you get them, they will give you additional or different effects. So your goal will be to try to open these doors and hopefully find one that has an exit on there so you can leave this terrible, horrific dungeon.
So the DM, which stands for Doormaster, remember, in this game, they are trying to stop the heroes from escaping whatever way they can. They have a bunch of cards in their special door deck, and they're the ones who are actually deciding what those floors are made up of. They could be traps, they could be monsters, they could be all kinds of terrible things that will befall the heroes. The heroes will choose one of the doors to go into, and they will flip it over.
Let's go door number 2.
And oh, look, in this case, it's the Show Me What You Got card. This one actually requires players or someone to sing a little song, and they will get treasure as a reward. So not all of them are bad. Sometimes the Doormaster will be forced to put out some cards that might help the players, or at least give them a chance to do something that will help them out. But that may not always be the case. Sometimes the players may decide to go in a door that is bad. Let's see what that one has in it. Oh no, actually that is a bad, but maybe a good card. This one right here is an exit. These brown ones tend to give you exits if you can pass some kind of a test. This one actually shuffles everything up randomly.
So this would be an amazing find.
Yeah, it'd be really good that early on. The Doormaster would never put that out early. You can tell that we randomly assorted these. Sometimes they will be traps, such as this one. It's a hole in the ground. Now, the players also have the choice of saying, we want you to lay out a new floor. So instead of just exploring what's on this floor, they can go to the next one and check out a door over there. It could be an enemy. That's another type of card that you'll probably run across. And if you find one of those, everyone will roll initiative using a d20, and you will actually take turns fighting with that monster. So one at a time, everybody has an armor class, including the monster. They have health. They have different stats and side effects that might come into play. And it kind of simulates an actual role-playing game combat, except that you're not worrying about distance or things like that, or terrain usually.
Right, it doesn't have the distance, as you said, or like the different characters. If there's damage, it's not like this one does a D4, this does a D8. It's all D6s and the D20 in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But that could be something to be careful of because, usually in a D&D game, for example, your wizard or your clerics are usually going to hang out back so they don't take the damage. But you, on the other hand, can just be like, yeah, I'm going to keep hitting that sorcerer.
Right, yeah, I can just hit whoever I want. It's a much more simplified version of that. And the game keeps going, and you keep rolling out different floors, different rooms, and doors until they eventually find an exit and manage to escape, or all the heroes die. Now, if a hero dies, they take damage greater than their health. They do get an afterlife card, so they are not eliminated. They do get to come back in as sort of a different role. But if everybody then dies and no one's able to resurrect their fallen friends, then the Doormaster wins the game. You're encouraged when playing the game to kind of treat this like you might with a role-playing game, especially the Doormaster, in the sense that you want to tell a story. You want to be creative, even though the things you're doing, for instance, the heroes don't necessarily have specific weapons they're using, but they're free to say whatever they want and say, I hit it here, I hit it with this, I hit it with that, and the Doormaster can respond in the same way. Also, this is a prototype. All these cards are going to have artwork on them, fully unique for each card. Right now, other other than some of the heroes, we only have the text here, but you get the idea. And it's very much, there's a sense of humor. It's definitely poking fun at some RPG tropes, perhaps not too dissimilar from a game like Munchkin or something like that. Maybe less puns than Munchkin has.
A little less, but they're there.
And there's also some other stuff you might run into, like you can see these summon and companion cards. Depending on what you find, you might end up with some new friends to fill out your journey as well. So it kind of does, like I said, simulate a role-playing game, but plays in a much shorter time frame and obviously much simpler. There's no campaign going on unless you really wanted to house rule some stuff into the game.
Yeah, which is fine, I think. Just like any kind of RPG, it's simple and fun, just trying to roam around. The treasure card is actually really fun because of, they're really, to limit it, there isn't really a restriction like, oh, your character can't use two-handed axe. It just rewards you for being proficient instead of just you can't use it, which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, there's some creative stuff in there. I think they do a smart job, like you said, of simplifying in ways that make it entertaining and rewarding.
And I don't know, but I know our version had a 101 version, sort of a tutorials too, if you want to make sure everyone can understand how the game's actually supposed to work.
Yeah, I believe the final version will come with that as well, where it basically walks you through a practice game, which is a nice way to get people involved. And I think that this might be a good option if you're someone who wants to introduce people to just the concept of role-playing. Even though it's very simplified, it does get across the ideas of initiative, armor class,
Knowing
spellcasting.
magic people aren't supposed to be your tanks.
Yeah, all those types of things are in this game. So if that's what you're looking for, and this is everything right here on the table, it fits in a little tiny pack like this, so very portable, which is also a plus. It's called Dungeon Doors. It's on Kickstarter. You can go there and see the final art and everything and whatever else they may have added that we can't show you here via the link in our description down below.
But until then, I'm Will.
And I'm Jonathan.
And this has been a Roll for Crit preview.
Get an inspiration token by supporting us on Patreon and liking and subscribing to this channel.
If you support us on Patreon, you'll get access to our audio expansion podcast. It's so good.